Hey, I'm Dr. Wade, and we are in the Biomechanics and Aging Mobility Lab. So that's a lot of words to describe the fact that I like to study how we move. And when we get older, our ability to walk changes. It doesn't necessarily get worse, although it does for a lot of people. And I'm studying kind of why those changes happen. We know they change physiologically. As we get older, our muscles get weaker. But that's kind of boring. We know that. So I'm studying how our mind changes how we move. If you're scared, you're going to change how you walk, but we don't really know how. So we're bringing people in, we're tripping them over, and we are going to see how them being scared changes how they move. So right now, I'm prepping these little reflective markers with some toupee tape, because this is sticky and sticks to the human skin without pulling the hair out. So I'm prepping these to put on our subject, me, so we can collect the motion of these reflective bowls. This computer is going to track their motion, and then we can process that later to analyze step lengths, joint angles, how much someone is spending on one leg versus the other. So these little reflective markers really are the foundation of a lot of the work in here. So you can see those reflective markers I was prepping are now on my legs and my feet. And so the cameras surrounding the space will track their motion while I walk on this treadmill. And this treadmill has two separate belts. So there's a front belt and there's a back belt here. And so I can control those independently. So if I wanted to, I could trip someone by changing the speed of the front belt, but not the back belt. I'm not going to do that because I don't want you to laugh at me falling on my face. And I haven't tested the harness yet. That's why this is here. This super attractive outfit is to make sure that our research participants don't smash their faces on the bar in front of me. So when someone comes into the lab, research volunteers will help prep the markers, place them on subjects according to where we want everything placed. So we will look for anatomical landmarks like your femoral condyle or your posterior calcaneus or maybe your acromion. And so your knowledge of anatomy is going to be really helpful, and you will learn how to find all of those key bony landmarks on all types of different bodies. Once those markers are placed, we put our participants on the treadmill, we capture some pictures, and then we get them walking. And I'll show you what that looks like from the processing side. So on the back end, we might see something like this. So you've got these two gray squares are the two belts of the treadmill. And now when my person starts walking, we can see them, see their little reflective markers, these little dots. And we can reconstruct them, and they're gonna look something like this. If I then show you, this person's already been processed, but maybe we want to see their left ankle angle. I can pull that up in the forward back direction, the side to side direction, and the vertical direction. And this is gonna spit out into a very big Excel spreadsheet. I'm talking 60,000 plus rows of data. And then we read that into special code that I write, and it's going to spit out average step length, average push-off force. Do you have any asymmetries? It will tell us all of that data. So this is really the meat and potatoes of what we do in here. So that data we just looked at, this is that person's summary. So they have an average step length of just over 1/2 meter. They have quite a large asymmetry here. So this means that they take longer steps on their right leg than their left. They have about an 8 centimeter step width, which is roughly the size of your fist. They are picking their foot up about 12 centimeters from the ground every step. If we scroll down, we can see how much they have pelvic tilt, how much their pelvis is dropping step to step, what their range of motion is at their hip, at their knee, at their ankle, and all different kinds of asymmetry metrics there. So when we have people come in, they will walk on the treadmill, like you just saw, at their typical comfortable pace, or sort of normal walking speed. Then we make them walk on the treadmill at their fastest comfortable pace. And we also do it while wearing these horrendous goggles that I'll show you in a minute. And I also make everyone play a word game. And that word game is possibly the hardest thing that I'm gonna make anyone do. And while you're walking, I'll show you a letter, and you have to name as many words as you can that begin with that letter without any repetitions. And then we score you on how accurate you are. Sounds easy, surprisingly hard. So now try walking when you can't see anything from here. I can now start to see my fingers and they're gone. So try walking without seeing anything around you.